Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast, a weekly show where 2 to 3 to 4, for a little while, old guys talk about old games,
Welcome to our secret room.
where we're all friends.
Oh.
I'm your bearded host, Tyler, and back with my dad, we had satellite. Remember those old-fashioned, satellites where you have to put in, like, all these weird different stations and channels and shit like that, and he got a glimpse of South Park. Was very offended, blocked Comedy Central. Of course, that's all I wanted to watch.
Did he read the disclaimer in the beginning?
Because the disclaimers clearly matter. Because, of course, I watched Comedy Central for Dr. Katz and The Daily Show.
Dr.
And,
Katz.
Yeah, so I was on for more than South Park. I wanted to watch it. So I remember one time I told him about, he liked Jeff Foxworthy. And I told him, hey, there's a Jeff Foxworthy special on Comedy Central. Could we watch it together? And he was kind of thinking about it. I walked behind the chair and very covertly watched him put the password in.
Well, he blocked Comedy
He
Central?
blocked Comedy Central.
Completely and totally because of South Park?
Yes. So you had to put in a code on the remote to get it to come through.
What was the code?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Clever.
So yeah.
I gotta change the combination on my luggage.
Did Craig give him that
Spaceballs!
one? Did Craig give him that one?
Probably. Greg was the one. You start at 0. They always want to start at 1. You start at 0. It's down at the bottom.
That's how you trick them.
Yep. So I watched him put the code in, so then I knew. So then whenever they were gone, I would unblock Comedy Central. Well, one night at like 1 in the morning, I don't really have internet really at that point, and I want to masturbate. Like, masturbation's still new at that point. I'm flipping through and I see Playboy TV. Input password to order. I'm like, oh shit, I bet this costs. It's not going to take me long. I bet if I watch it for like 5 seconds and then just cancel out real quick. So that's what I did.
Slippery slope, Tyler.
I finished it, yeah. That's how it started. And then I kept ordering it, and I kept ordering it. And I remember at one point, like, Brandon comes over, and him and I watched like 4 hours of Playboy TV. When we got our bill in, it was for $160. And Dad flipped out. And, of course, I was like, Dad.
Which is, I'm sorry to interrupt you, which is absurd to pay for pornography nowadays. Like, if someone came in right now and told me they spent $160 on pornography, I don't know how I would be able to comprehend that.
Someone came in
That's just free everywhere, right?
I spent $10 on pornography. What? So
I'm sorry, please continue.
I throw logic in his face. I'm like, Dad, how can I have ordered it? I don't know your password. He's like, it's true. It's true. You know? I was like, you know who I bet did it? Hackers. It's like they hacked into our satellite and ordered Playboy. He's like, oh. And I heard he called up the satellite people and just went off. Oh, he went off so hard on them. And got the bill cut in half. And he had to pay the $80.
Wow.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
I'm Dave, your bespectacled host, and I remember going to a friend's house in high school, and he was my Tyler at the time. I was his Brandon. I would go to his house to watch Playboy TV, and we'd get away with it because his dad was a drunk.
Childhood.
And whenever the bill would come in, my friend would say, "You must have ordered that when you were drunk." And his dad really couldn't say anything about it because he was drunk every night.
So, this sounds like a pretty good deal.
So, I'm sorry. I brought it down to a dark level. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, like if it was like he ordered Playboy and then beat him, that's bringing it drunk. Like,
that didn't happen.
He just gets drunk and watches Playboy TV. Totally fine.
Victimless.
I think.
Yes.
Victimless.
Completely.
I think it's the most uplifting story we've told yet.
He got to drink, His wife got the divorce she always wanted, and we got Playboy TV.
Honestly, I have no downsides.
We've got two gentlemen here with us. We have returning. What weight class are you?
It's middleweight, maybe.
Middleweight.
Welterweight?
Middleweight.
I don't know. I'm probably
Let's say-
a heavyweight. I'm probably a heavyweight.
You're
Okay, returning
you are
heavyweight
tall.
wolf fighting champion,
Yeah.
Jacob York.
Hi guys. Hey.
Do you have a Playboy TV story for us today?
No, I don't. My formative masturbation stories are probably pretty typical to the world insofar as like I was downstairs and was watching HBO on volume 1 and I would hear like my parents make movements upstairs, turn the TV off, run, jump in my bed. So yeah, I don't have, but I
like to imagine this irony of like they are trying to make love upstairs while you are trying to masturbate downstairs, and you just every so often hear each other and just completely stop.
everything comes to a halt.
That could be a skit. We need to do that.
You know, I generally, whenever I'm on the show, I don't talk until I'm introduced. But this time was the hardest it's ever been because I really wanted, for some reason, the idea of like the economics of pornography is kind of fascinating. And like the idea that there are people out there that pay for pornography literally so that we can all view it for free.
Why did I invest in pornography?
Like there are these people out there who love Bang Bus so much that they give Bang Bus so much money every month.
Well, it's real.
So that we can watch Bang Bus.
Well, everybody on Reddit comments like that it's worth it to pay for those subscriptions. They talk about how great it is.
Really?
I paid for pornography like that once.
I have as well, and it was Reality Kings, the producers of Bang Bus.
Yeah.
I would
Not worth it.
I subscribed to Danny's Hot Box.
What is that?
Danny Ash. It's a softcore pornography site that was $40 a month.
I wish that our listeners could see the shame on your face when you said
Like
softcore.
Like, well, like
No,
if you pay,
no shame for any other word but softcore. It's like that's when you falter.
well, it's like you. Of course, you pay for hardcore pornography. Who pays for softcore pornography?
You can see that on the streets of Las Vegas.
So I remember I just thought Danny Ash was so
Flyers.
hot. Like I'm particular in my breast type, and she had like she was perfect. She was my masturbatory gold to go on a Jacob York term for years. So but it's just pretty girls. Not worth $40 a month. Ugh, it's pretty girls.
I
Give me just throbbing cock, just pounding in that assholes. Pretty girls.
It's I just about I mean I need to see something going into something.
Once you're at this point.
Yeah, you get to a certain age and imagination just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah. But also, I mean, feminism.
That's not misogynistic, right?
No.
I paid for pretty girls. That's not misogynistic.
Who's really exploited, the men or the women?
I paid $40 for softcore pornography.
Totally the
I'm
women.
the victim.
Totally the women,
Let's be honest, and especially for Dave and I, because we're like when we paid for it, we paid for terrible
Yeah.
things. We want to know that these girls are being paid for this.
Yeah, I think
Horrible.
that should be one of the premium features you get when you join a pay-per-porn site, is you should get to view all the waivers that all the ladies
my
have
God.
signed.
Oh my god!
Just so you have an ease of mind.
Their contracts and their
Right.
terms. I want to
And see how much they made for the scene and be like, okay, all right.
That's all right. I get it.
Clearly, this is a professional working woman who is okay with what's going on. She made a decent salary for this scene.
And especially considering like knowing what you make and that you can shoot however many in a week, it's like
Vivid
you
pays
go,
well.
like you go
Vivid
back,
pays
you
well.
take a shower and then you go back to set, That's not a bad situation. Although I do see, like sometimes I go down.
I get the feeling we're just digging this hole deeper.
yeah.
Where it's like, we're not,
Why? Why? Why did you say that?
Whenever this gets published, I do hope it's like you finish your story and then Zach is introduced.
I've been editing, and I'm gotten so lazy in editing where it's like, it's fine. I'm sure that we shouldn't have said that, but someone will call us on it, or they won't.
Although sometimes, I go down a hole on eFucked, and it's like, and I just like, I close my computer and I'm like, this is the world that I live in. I kind of can't live with myself, with anyone else.
We have one of the listeners who like is nodding their head like they get that. They
E-fucked,
get that.
yeah.
I've been there.
Speaking of e-fucked, we've got a fourth guest with us.
Still not been
That
introduced.
segue did not transition at all, Dave.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I think knowing you, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which our listeners will get to know you.
Yeah, well, I was just really impressed that this is the first podcast I've ever been on, and this was the starting out point. So,
Jesus.
yeah. I don't really have a story about
No Playboy TV?
No, well, yes, but
Hold on. Did you say his name?
No.
no. You said my name.
Is it?
Quality podcasting, guys. Quality. I think, Tyler, you and I looked at each other and we had this moment where we're like, let's just let these guys run the show.
Zach, introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm Zach. Been a friend of Tyler and Dave's for quite some time. Even Jacob from way back. And they invited me. Unlike Josh of Uniracers fame. And
Barging in.
they were like, "Hey, why don't you come to the podcast while you're in town?" So here I am.
Welcome to the show. Do you have a Playboy TV story?
No, I don't. But
You're making the smart decision.
yeah, well, I've kind of been enticed to tell a story from way back. And so CFP, Dave, and Tyler are all in my car driving in college. And does anybody remember those little quarter machines at the supermarket where you put a quarter in, you get like a
spider
squishy
ring?
mace or like
Sweet
a
spider
hand with the
Spider-Man.
and you could fling it out and it was stretchy and it would slap somebody. All right. Well, I have one of those in my back seat. And
A ball.
Yes, it was. It looked like a morning star.
It's like a koosh ball.
Yeah,
Yes.
it did look like a koosh ball.
It had spines all over it and a long string and like a finger attachment so you could like hold it, and it was like the yo-yo balls from back in the day. It would always come back. Mm-hmm. So, well, Tyler picks it up and starts playing with it, and I was like, you might not want to mess with that. You don't know where it's been. Well, where has it been, Zach? Well, I say a specific
Jacob is
female's-
visibly bracing himself, by the way.
I say a certain
God.
female's name and inform him that she was using it to pleasure herself a little bit.
I think the other
Can we get that Adam and Eve sponsorship now?
This is a pod.
man, we're missing. Damn, that's good.
This is a podcast
I think
about
at some
video
point,
games.
like the other guy in the car was like, "What's it been in some girl's vagina?" Yeah.
Kind of.
And then that's when you said the girl's name that you had been having sex with and putting stuff in her vagina, and I was like, "Oh, that girl got caught having sex in my high school. I know who you're talking about.
knew her.
We're bonded." You wanna know what I've been playing this week?
What have you been playing this week, Tyler? How's your Steam list going?
Oh my god.
I beat Alan Wake American Nightmare.
Sweet.
Overall, I give it like a C+. Where Alan Wake goes is not as interesting as the inception of Alan Wake.
Okay, so play it or pass it.
If you're a fan of Alan Wake, play it.
Okay.
You have to play Alan Wake first. There's no way
Okay.
you can pick this game up
Okay.
and even really enjoy it. Because there's no...
Even
it
with the
doesn't tell you how to
sexy
play.
Nurse and the sexy
Mechanic,
flight
the
attendant.
sexy scientist, and the sexy movie theater operator.
projectionist.
Projectionist, thank you.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized there's some games on my laptop that are like Origin games or DRM free games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw those in the mix too a little bit in alphabetical order.
Steam free for all.
I'm going to play them at the same time.
Okay.
So these two games, like one is good to play at night, the other is fine to play during the day. So during the day, I am playing Alice Madness Returns. I played that while Jacob took a nap earlier before we came over here.
I did as long as
Is that American McGee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should be.
It's
think so.
very, very good.
I've heard those are great. There's like, is this the second one?
I don't know.
Yes, because
It is?
American McGee's Alice was the first one.
Okay. I've heard they're great, but I've never played one.
The intro was like I was like, okay, this is a serious game. All right, and I immediately text James Livingston saying you have to play this. Because I remember back in D.C., he made me stand in. We got tickets early. He thought it was going to sell out. He was like, we have to see the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Because he loves just weird shit like that. So
I don't know what that is. It sounds
Heath Ledger's,
some
Heath
kind of
Ledger's last
molasses?
movie. The Imaginarium of Dr.
Heath
Parnassus.
Ledger made molasses?
Heath Ledger
and it
made
sold
mol-
out?
It did not sell
I
out.
have it saved.
People
on
thought
digits
he'd like the
to
joke
watch
was his
it.
best word. No, it's just molasses. And then at night, I haven't started it yet. I will be playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, you will.
So that I need to play at night with my headphones on, all the lights out.
I'm really proud that you're going to do it that way.
I'm gonna immerse myself. It's for real.
Applause to you.
You know, your attempt to play through your Steam library is
To play these games you bought.
But I mean, just here's the thing: it's not about playing the games you've bought. It's about knowing that you have however many games that you have not played that you just kind of bought to be like, meh, humble bundle. I want to support it. You know that is daunting. To have that many unplayed games and to be playing through that, you know,
It's over 100.
I
Might
mean-
be close to 200.
you, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but you've never played Civilization, right?
Nope.
The fact that you've never played a Civilization game and you're about to be introduced to this entire, there's so many games, dude. There's so many games. It's daunting.
Civilization 3 was the first one I played, and it was phenomenal.
Dude,
I played 2 first, and I love 2. I thought 3 was kind of a turd, honestly.
Really? Wow.
I
Apparently,
played...
I started out on shit.
But you didn't know any
So
better.
everything,
didn't know any
everything's
better.
better.
It's still a wonderful concept. I actually I played 1 because a friend of mine gave it to me on floppy.
Really?
Yeah, in middle school, a friend.
So is that what you've been playing this week, Jacob?
No, shit, I wish.
Civilization 2?
No, I haven't been playing. I'm about to start playing 999.
Yes!
Because Tyrone is loaning me his DS. Whenever I'm in Nashville, I will be playing that. Really, the last thing that I played was from when I borrowed Tyrone's PS3 when I was still in Atlanta, because I'm in Nashville right now to do a show. But I finished Portal 2 and The Last of Us. Those are the games that I finished. I played also a little bit of Deadpool. I did not finish Deadpool, but I played some of it. I thought
Not as good as The Last of Us. Surprisingly. I didn't think it was as good as The Last of Us.
it's
What'd you think of it?
Honestly, it didn't hold my attention. I wanted to keep playing it because I wanted to see
Snarky
Cable and
remarks
Domino and stuff. I wanted to see when other people came in, and I enjoyed the writing also. But I'm just not very good at those kind of games. I don't know. I would compare it to I guess kind of Devil May Cry ish.
I would say it's pretty much a clone
Yeah.
of Devil May Cry, and it's not done exceptionally well either.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. You just reaffirmed my decision to not purchase it.
yeah. It's
I'd play it if you...
If you're a fan
I'll
of
play it.
Deadpool.
I'm just not going to purchase it. I'll pick it up off my buddy whenever he gets tired of messing around with it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's, I will say I had more fun playing that than I had playing Portal 2. I don't know. I'm in such a weird place with Portal 2 because there are moments when everything works. I'm there was literally one time when it worked and I screamed on my couch, I am so smart.
You do that pretty regularly.
Yeah, I'll be watching an episode of Parks and Rec and out of nowhere.
It's like clockwork. You set a Siri reminder.
Every night at 9:30. But I don't know. There got to a point. There were 3 puzzles that I just had to be fuck it. I don't know it. I don't know it. You've beaten me, Portal. I'm gonna look up how to do this. And I don't know. I don't like admitting defeat, but I also don't like
You're going to have
banging.
fun with 999.
I also don't like banging my head against a wall. And that's what I felt like I was doing a lot of times with Portal 2. But the writing was good enough to make me want to keep moving forward because I wanted to hear the next thing that J.K. Simmons had to say.
One of my top 5 favorite actors.
He's
so underrated.
That's Gene's brother?
For those who don't know, he's J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies, and
He's the guy from those insurance commercials.
Yeah,
He
the
is the
farmer's
white
insurance
supremacist
commercials.
in
Dum, dum, dum,
Oz.
dum, dum.
He
Yeah.
is.
he's Juno's dad in Juno.
So he plays a robot in Portal 2?
He's a Cave Johnson. He's Cave Johnson.
Okay.
He is the head of the Aperture,
Aperture.
Science Facility.
Yeah.
I haven't played Portal 2, obviously.
It's phenomenal.
I haven't played it
playing-
either. I just seen a lot of references to it on Reddit.
Yeah, it's fucked up because it's to the point now where I feel like I don't need to play it because it's
I
like
can see
Robots
that.
solve
it's like,
puzzles.
I am also part of your culture. Portal 2, yay!
Yeah, it's like, man, when all of the cake is a lie stuff was happening, it's like I wasn't even on Reddit at the time. I can only imagine how annoying Reddit must have been during
I wasn't on Reddit then
the
either.
cake is a lie.
I would think that 4chan was probably worse because it's just generally worse.
Just in general.
You don't talk about 4chan. That's in the rules of the internet.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And the Last
Don't break
of
the
Us.
7 seals and call down the beast.
And The Last of Us was wonderful. I would be wonderful, but frustrating because I'm not. I was talking to you guys before. I'm not particularly good at shooters, so there were a lot of times that I just got to a point where I was getting killed over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But
I think a lot of points in that game are designed with that in mind.
But when the game was Ellie and Joel are gathering supplies like that, I loved that game. I loved that game so much.
Oh, I did too. That made me wish that Fallout was like that. I have a lot more fun collecting shit
Yeah.
in The Last of Us than I do in Fallout.
It means something. The economy in that game is not completely fucked in the way it is in Fallout. I mean, Fallout, it's the same way that it is, I find, in like the GTA games, where in the beginning, money and supplies are so hard to come by, so you think like a hoarder in the very beginning, but then it gets to a point where it doesn't matter
at all.
But you still end up hoarding. You still end up thinking, I need, oh God, I know that there's something really important on this corpse. But there never is. There never is. Just keep walking. You're fine. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Zach?
I have been playing a lot because, as many of the listeners probably don't know, or if they've listened to old podcasts, I just got back from Afghanistan and I am on vacation right now. So I've been.
You just had a vacation. You just went to Afghanistan.
Yeah, totally a vacation, Dave. In the desert, 120 degree heat.
That sounds-
negative 20.
sounds
negative
nice.
10 whenever it's in the winter. Yeah, it was glorious. Let me tell you.
Oh, wait. You're in the military, though.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot.
that would-
You didn't mention that, so I had no idea.
Thought you were a billionaire survivalist.
Yeah,
Yeah, because who wants to go to Afghanistan other than they send
That's
you
a
there?
fun idea.
And it's like a paid vacation. You go there 12 hours a day, one day off a week, and you just
You guys
work.
get a day off?
Yeah,
Ugh.
I know, right?
And I pay your
Fighting for
salary.
your freedom.
Do something for once.
But yeah, since I've been back, I've been because of you guys talking about it, played through BioShock Infinite, beat it, listen to the podcast, phenomenal, excellent game. If you haven't played it, get off your ass. Also went through some Resident Evil 6 with a buddy of mine, and I started playing, but have not even gotten 15 minutes into Darksiders 2, Metro Last Light, DMC, Devil May Cry. And then
all on my list.
yes, they look great. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to play through next. I did go through and play Tom Clancy's Blacklist, and I think, unlike Jacob, I kind of consider myself a very stealthy, action-oriented person.
Well, Jesus, I fucking hope so if you're in the military.
I work on helicopters. I don't kill people. But I think my poor performance in the game might have killed Tom Clancy because
You were so bad. Tom Clancy died.
Topical!
You can
I
tell.
finished the game the day before he passed away, and I was like, son of a bitch. I killed Tom Clancy and caused the government to shut down.
His tombstone just says Zach.
I know, and nobody knows but me, and it
weird.
hurts so bad.
Dave, how about you?
I've been playing a lot of Fatal Fury 2. The mystical and magical game that I've
Fatal Fury 2
fallen
last
in
night.
love with.
I hear a segment coming.
A segment?
A segment. I hear
What's
that
it sound
train.
It sounds like a train.
A Dave Reese Wikipedia train?
from
Dave reads what? All right.
Oh, it's the
From here on out, please.
it's the Dave Reed's train.
Why do I think that's so funny? That's so funny to me.
I just imagine the little trolley from Mr. Rogers came scrolling around here in the room. Oh wait, there it is. And
Look, there it goes. It's got that weird cat on it.
and now we're going to Magic Land where Dave reads from Wikipedia.
I really want you to get a sound effect now. From now
TADPOG
on.
policy, no sound effects, it's all live. That's Tyler's job from here on out.
This is the Dave Reeds from Wikipedia
All
train.
morning,
pulling
Dave
into
Reed's
the
Wikipedia
station.
train.
All right, guys. Fatal Fury 2 or Garo Densetsu 2 Aratanaro Tatakai Legend of the Hungry Wolf 2 : The New Battle.
Is this game about fighting wolves? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you didn't play the game?
I did not play this game. I have nothing.
What are you doing here?
I'm literally about to leave.
Jacob was in town. We're like,
Well, you just come to eat like 20 minutes off the show and then leave? You gotta stay for the rest of it.
I don't have anything to add.
It's a fighting game from 1992. Released by SNK for the Neo Geo arcade and home platforms. It is a sequel to Fatal Fury: King of Fighters. Much simpler name. Much simpler name.
because Tekken is also the king of fighters.
Who's the real king of fighters?
Is there a Tekken versus SNK for the title of king of fighters?
There should be if there's not. Did anyone play this game as a kid?
Nope.
Fatal Fury 2?
I did not. I remember, like, after playing it, I remember playing it maybe once or twice in an arcade, but I usually didn't want to waste my quarters on one-on-one fighters because, you make it like 2 rounds in and then you get your ass kicked?
And that teenager comes up and...
I'm going to beat your ass. And it's like, son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not bring a pocket full of quarters to sit here and, trade off with you. I came here to play games and have a good time. So I would go for Aliens or one of the other shooters.
I never played it. I saw it plenty of times on the stand at the rental place, but I always mistook it for Final Fight because
Oh.
phonetically they're similar, and also the Fatal Fury logo is pretty much just a straight ripoff of the Final Fight logo.
It is pretty close.
There's a lot of it that ripped off from other fighters.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's one unique mechanic to it, and everything else is just straight ripped off from Street Fighter.
It's widely accepted as a Street Fighter 2 clone.
I recognize Terry Bogard, so it's the guy with the mullet and the hat and the vest.
Full ponytail
just had
dog.
a
Full
ponytail.
He's got a full ponytail.
All right.
Chuck Taylor's his sponsor, though, because he's got the big white star on his back and the red chucks that he wears all the time. It's part of his contract.
Also, I'm going to draw a really shitty parallel to something I feel like it reminded me of. It reminded me a lot of Shaq Fu.
Why?
Their punches and their kicks were very fast, then their movement and their jumping was very slow. So it was the strange juxtaposition of being fast and slow at the same time.
The original mechanic you're talking about is that there's a foreground and there's a background.
Yes.
And you fight on both of these planes. I noticed it was a little slow going from plane to plane, but I didn't really think it was that slow.
I felt like when I was trying to jump or move towards somebody, I felt like I was just going so slow as opposed to some of the moves that were just very responsive. But that's my impression. I did not play this game nearly as much as you and Zach.
We played it
I played it
for
100%
8
more.
hours straight.
8 hours straight.
I played it 100% more than Jacob.
Jacob.
I did not play this game.
3 slices of pizza apiece, and then we were back on the sticks, like going to town.
And then we played Final Fantasy 2.
Then we cleaned ourselves off.
Not sticks.
Back on the sticks.
We took a
buttons
shower
and
and-
D-pads. Like, new agey. My bad. But yeah, we picked this game up. And I have to admit, whenever I walked in, I was like, oh, son of a bitch. This is a one-on-one fighter. I am not going to have a good night tonight. And as soon as I picked it up and Dave and I started fighting each other, I was like, oh my God, this is really a lot of fun.
And
it just went from there. 9:42, I made a mention of the time, and Dave was like, holy shit, it's 1 a.m. And I was like, oh, crap.
You have to have a good threshold for getting your ass kicked when you play fighting games with Dave.
Yeah.
Because I find that is always my experience when I play fighting games with you, Dave. I just lose.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
and I have to be okay. I just gotta get used to this.
And see, that was what was
It's how it
weird.
is.
Arthur and Marvel vs.
That was
Capcom
once.
3.
That was once.
and I can't win a game of Super Smash Brothers to save my life.
That's not true. But in all fairness, you don't even own that game.
A straight classic Street Fighter style fighter. I find you to be the best person I know at those kind of games.
And I'm bad.
And I know 7 people. And you're the best.
Dave and I were pretty evenly matched. Like, we would trade off. Like, I would win a match, he would win a match, or
He was letting you.
kick my ass for 3 matches in a row, and then I'd come back. Like, it really held true to the genre. Different people had different stylized fighting. Do we want to get into game mechanics
Yeah, let's
now?
do it.
All right. There were Jubei was as long as
Explain
you could get
Jubei.
it-
Who's
okay. Jubei had small Oriental man with wooden flip flops and
Asian man, I believe.
yes.
Yeah.
We stopped saying Oriental while ago.
What are we building the railroad?
I was trying not to be
So
offensive. You know, but
trying to not be
just throw
offensive.
that shit right out the window.
We have a disclaimer to cover that shit, all right?
Oh, the
You say
disclaimer
whatever
works?
you want to, but
All
don't,
right.
but don't really. But don't really.
Spices from the darkest Orient.
As long as he got up close and personal, his moves were very hard and, did a lot of damage. But everybody else has reach on him. So as long as you could get in close, he was a great guy to play with. I wanted to be good with Jubei, but I really wasn't. We'll get into desperation moves later, but I did get to pull off his desperation move, and it was one of the sweetest moments of the game.
Actually, that's another unique mechanic for this game compared to
Yes.
like Street Fighters, that each character has a desperation move.
Whenever your health bar gets down to a quarter of the way,
Yeah.
your health bar starts flashing red, and you can pull off a special move. And most of these moves are pretty gnarly. Like, Bears was at least 5 combinations of buttons.
Yeah, they're difficult to input, but they do about like 50%.
Yeah,
they'll not
they're
like
pretty
50% of a
extreme.
life bar just right off like that.
And whenever Dave pulled off his first desperation move, the look on his face, he had a full smile, like teeth everywhere. He was like,
They were
dude,
just everywhere.
They burst out of the ground.
he was like, dude, did you just see that? I was like, yeah, that was pretty fucking
He was like
awesome.
an Akira of teeth. That's everything going everywhere.
That's Dave's desperation move.
You make me really self-conscious about my teeth now.
See,
Very self-conscious about my teeth.
that's your Kekkei Genkai Naruto reference.
But there were a few other characters. Andy and Terry Bogard, brothers, very similar.
From Canada.
No.
Where were they actually from? Like Terry
No,
said he was
what?
from
No.
Texas.
No.
Okay, all right.
Terry-
No. However,
They all look alike to me.
yeah. Well, sure.
He's from the American Southwest. That's as best as we can pinpoint.
Okay, well,
Yeah, his stage is
South Dakota.
you're set on a train, and Mount Rushmore's in the background. But however, when you go to it on the map, it is
Further
New
south than
Mexico.
that.
somewhere like in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That thing
And,
around Rushmore's in North Dakota. I
Is it
believe
north?
I believe it
I thought
is
it was south.
south. It's in Dakota.
Nicole, which Dakota is Mount Rushmore in? Thank you.
But I mean, they were kind of like Ken and Ryu. They had similar move sets, but they were actually quite different. Like, they didn't have moves that looked the same. It was different, but they could.
Their input commands were
Yes.
the same, but they did different shit.
Yes,
May was your Chun-Li. Big Bear was your Zangief.
but he moved faster than Zangief, and
Big Bear was a badass. I
He's
saved
a
him for
fucking
the
bear
very,
god.
very fucking last. I don't like the way he looks. His little
Kool-Aid
jumpsuit looks like Kool-Aid Man if you were a Tron reject. He looks like he'd be really slow, but he's actually quite fast and very
oh,
powerful.
don't forget the knee pads. He had knee pads.
And yes, he's wearing awesome knee pads.
His onesie has knee pads included.
What was his name again?
Big Bear.
Bear.
Okay.
Big Bear.
But he was quite possibly the best character I saw you play with in the game last night. Like, you went through a speed run, and
No, I wouldn't call that a speed
well,
run.
I mean,
I went through on the highest difficulty.
on the highest difficulty, you beat the entire game with Big Bear, and then you went through on the lowest difficulty and didn't lose a match and beat all the bosses.
Well, that's because we were trying to get. We heard a rumor that this game has a true ending, because the ending that you get when you beat the game is awful.
It's March 31st, 1994, and you won the King
The King of Fighters tournament.
of Fighters tournament.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And it says there's no like story element at Oh,
There's no
it just
different
shows
picture.
shows a picture of the winner's sprite in victory pose, and it gives those two sentences, and it's like
That's
the
it.
end. The end, dog. Go home.
Do you think that's an artifact from it originally being like a Neo Geo game? Because Neo Geo was sort of specifically well, like graphically focused to a fault, I think. Like, do you think that it has something to do with the fact that it's like, well, people don't care about the story. They just care about what it looks like. Here, let's...
I think they cut a lot of the story for the port
Oh, okay.
because there are more story elements in the in the
okay.
Neo Geo version.
And I like that you brought up the graphics because most of the backgrounds were 3 tiers.
Oh, wow.
The background wouldn't move. Normally there was a secondary and tertiary background, and as you were either moving in the foreground or going back and forth, the secondary and tertiary backgrounds would move with you. And a lot of character animation in the backgrounds, especially in Big Bear stage. There were bikers and truckers all dancing around. And
They're Burning Man.
yeah,
Yes.
it was Burning Man, yes.
Which, by the way, I wanted to point this out when we were playing, but I figured I'd save it for the show. Did Big Bear totally steal Sodom's semi and just refit it? Because that level looks exactly like the level in Street Fighter Alpha 2, which of course came later. So I'm curious, like, the more fighting games I play, like, the more incestuous it reveals itself to be because it's of stuff like that. And then there's another character in Fatal Fury 2 named Chen, and he's from Hong Kong. I swear, man, for Street Fighter 4, Capcom they made a character named Rufus, who was an overweight American guy.
Rufus is exactly
who does
like
Tai
him.
Chi, which is also what Chen does, who is also an
Specifically, he
overweight.
does Tai Chi.
Yeah, he's also an overweight guy. So it's interesting that everyone's just stealing something from everyone else.
It's true.
But yeah, after you win a match and you go to the second match or lose a match, either way, the time of day changes. It goes from day to night and then maybe dusk in a few levels, but the level design was really excellent.
Yeah,
and
these guys love their backgrounds.
I like that.
they did.
They love their backgrounds a lot more than they love their sprite animations.
Yes.
Or unique mechanics or engineer. There are 8 fighters. Once you get past all 8 fighters, then what happens?
You fight
You fight four
bosses.
Tell me about these 4 bosses.
What would you like to know?
Are they clones of Street Fighter?
Lawrence?
One could say
Like, because I remember you fighting a boxer. Mm-hmm. And
Axel
then
Hawk. He's a white Balrog. Let's just be honest. He's a white Balrog.
I remember seeing you fight a bullfighter.
Yes.
Done very
Yes.
much in like a Vegas style fight. I don't know if there was a Sagat fight.
There is a character named Joe who is Muay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Yes,
he's very Sagat-esque.
Okay.
Even in his dress.
I know who you're talking about, and there is another Street Fighter character that looks almost exactly like him.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost exact. He's up on his feet. He has just the boxers, the hair that's up, and a bandana. He
Oh,
looks,
yeah. I can't remember his name, but he is in Street
looks
Fighter Alpha
exactly like that guy.
2. He does.
And then I guess the final boss, the M. Bison equivalent.
Wolfgang Krauser.
Well, you left out Billy Kane
Billy Kane's the first boss.
from England with a trifold staff, I guess you would call it.
That's bullshit. That he gets a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a 3/4 of the screen reach.
Yeah, at least.
That always bothered me with Vega. It's like how are you gonna let someone show up with literally a
fence.
weapon?
But wasn't it
Gets to climb on
satisfying
that
to knock
fence.
that shit off his hand?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it the best feeling, though? Where it's like, now what are you going to do?
Yeah,
Your
no.
claw's over there. Your mask is on the other side of the screen.
Idiot.
Now what?
Go home and be a family man.
But Lawrence,
Take your fucking fence.
the bullfighter was using his cape as a weapon, and it was literally as powerful, if not more, as the trifold staff.
Well, and he'd stab you with a sword. 'Cause,
Yeah,
he also
I
has a
forgot
weapon.
about that, and that was 3/4 damage.
Yeah. When I was fighting him on difficulty 7, which for some reason is the most difficult. I don't know why they decided on a sliding scale of 7.
Well, they're Christians. 7 being God's favorite number.
Oh, is that so?
Well, it is prime, so.
Well, okay. Well, I've
All
got
of
2
those
great
reasons.
reasons. So just scratch what I've said.
Never mind. I'm an asshole for even bringing it up. I apologize.
I forgot about base 7 in fighting games.
Base 7 in God's will.
I can't even remember what I was talking about.
When you were fighting.
Oh, Lawrence Blood is his name. Lawrence Blood, the Matador.
Yeah.
When you're fighting him on 7, he can kill you in 2 hits. Like he can stab you and then stab you again and you're dead.
So now I see where Bushido Blade got their concept of weapons actually doing real damage. So 2 stabs with the sword, someone's probably dead. They're going realistic on that.
He's not very good because it should only take 1. But to be fair,
Like a
he's used
master
to murdering
bullfighter.
bulls and not other humans.
Blood, Lawrence Blood. Show notes.
Some of the other mechanics, there was a 1-player, 2-player combat mode. You could pick anybody's stage. Some of the stages are only 1 tier. As we were talking, you could hop from the foreground to the background.
Yeah.
These stages, the boxer stage, you could knock them backwards into an electrified fence.
Right. And kicking somebody into the electrified ropes of a boxing ring sounds very satisfying.
It's
and
not.
It is. But then when you see how much damage it's done,
It's not satisfying.
yeah, it's that's not worth
Mildly
it.
shocking. It's mild. It's like a double A battery on your tongue.
The music is really catchy, but then again, what isn't in Super Nintendo era, the little 8-bit kind of chimey.
Populous.
Yes.
Populous is not
Yeah.
very catchy.
I'd like to play Fatal Fury 2, just the heartbeat.
Wow.
So Fatal Fury 2 is 63.
It is 63, IGN 63rd.
And I feel like it pales in comparison to IGN's 96th ranked game.
Yeah.
Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Yeah, I think Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a better game. But I want to say that besides Street Fighter Alpha 2, this is the best fighter I've played so far on this list. This to me is a real fighter. Whereas, because yes, it was a clone. I mean, it's obviously a clone of Street Fighter 2. Like, there's no doubt about it, except for the few extra mechanics they've added. It is a clone of Street Fighter 2. Like, that's fucking documented. That's science, folks. That is science. But at least it's a good copy of Street Fighter 2.
Guys, this is the question that I would be asking if I were to call into the show.
Okay.
So I wanted
What,
to
can we
ask this
pretend?
question. Yeah. Hey guys, it's Jacob. Blah, blah, blah. This is what I sound like on the phone. Yeah. What is your favorite fighter character of all time?
Armor King.
Armor King?
Yep.
From which iteration?
Tekken 2.
Okay.
God damn you, Tyler.
Did he take your answer?
Yeah, he did.
Mine too. Next question.
Legitimately.
Everyone loves Armor King. 4-player Armor King Tekken Ball.
It's the Rayman spinoff that just did not take off.
How did you pull that out of your ass?
Because he
really?
kills himself in King's Ending in Tekken. I feels how it feels, Zachary.
I'm upset.
All
I'm
right.
upset.
Well, Zach, I think you're just saying that. I don't think that you actually liked Armor King. I think that you're just trying to rip off Tyrone's awesome answer.
I think you just like Burger King. To be honest.
My brain goes
To be-
Rolodex,
to be
and I'm
honest.
sitting there flipping through every single
I don't know. I really like Armor King. It's the only one.
Favorite game, probably Tekken 2. And then I'm rolling through, and I'm like, well, King. And then I was like, no, wait, Armor King, because he had his damage.
No
was,
one believes you.
Fuck you guys. I don't give a shit whether you believe me or not.
I mean, clearly I was lying because I barely know who Armor King is.
Dave, what about you?
Sorry, man. I gotta go. Ryu. I do.
You don't have to
Classic.
I get it.
Classic. I know his moveset.
Yeah.
Don't have to learn anything. I know I can jump if there's a game.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Got time learning shit. Unless it's Big Bear. I'll learn Big Bear's
learn Big
moves.
Bear.
But yeah, I know if there's a fighting game that I've never played before and Ryu's in it, I have an entry point.
Yes.
So I can at least have some feeling that I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And get the feel for all these other characters that are just beating my ass.
Absolutely. I get that.
How about you, Jacob?
The Guile, Street Fighter 2.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Clearly the best music in fighting game history.
Yeah. And I loved his story. I thought he was so interesting, and I thought that he was dreamy. He had that hair.
My wife hates Guile.
Oh, we know.
Hates Guile.
Why?
She had a very bad dream about Guile and has not been able to look at the character since.
Wow.
So that's why it's been your Halloween costume the last 8 years.
Yep. That's why we go to Dragon Con. I send her every guile I come across.
There is no more satisfying moment in a fighting game than when I leap into the air at the same time as someone else and catch them and do like a backbreaker in the air with guile. That's just so, oh God, it feels so good. So yeah, I love
So
guile.
American.
Feels American. He's got a fucking tattoo on his arm and go home and be a family man, all that shit.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Go and be a
So
family man.
American.
I love him.
That movie was terrible, Tyler. Don't ever bring it
No,
up again.
okay, all right.
What? Really?
Fucking Raul Julia is amazing in
Raul
it.
Julia
Yes, that's the only good part.
But that's a still like that
10 minutes of the
raises
film.
The fucking,
Hour and 45 minutes.
it raised the quality of the movie. It's not a horrible movie simply because Raul Julia is amazing in it.
Okay,
You
so
know-
it went
you know
from
what
an
is
F
a-
to a D plus.
You know it is a horrible movie?
what?
Fatal Fury 2, the anime.
Yes.
I hadn't watched that. I wish I had.
That exists. And if anyone wants to watch it, I will put it in the show notes because it is available in its entirety on YouTube. And it is not the worst anime I've seen. In fact, if you watch it through a satirical prism, it's actually quite good. But I don't think that was the intent. But it does shed some light on the story of Fatal Fury 2.
Yes, it does. And the music is very similar as well.
We got it. Here's the idea.
We hook them with this awesome anime.
And then they'll play our stupid, shitty game that'll never make a list ever.
Certainly not IGN's top 100 Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It's certainly not higher than
That's
Street
reserved
Fighter Alpha.
for games like Sparkster, but not Secret of Evermore.
And I do have to bring up, Dave, I think you'll back me on this, our Drow game.
We had a drow game.
We did
We
have
had
a
a
drow
drow
game.
game. Zach and I were fighting each other. And
We-
what happens
We
is...
double kicked, and then we both fell down. We're like, oh, we're both dead.
No.
Huh?
I'm telling it wrong. That's a double KO.
No. We didn't double KO, though. We had an infinitesimally small bit of life bar left, and it was exactly even. And we stood up, and on the screen, instead of draw, it says drow game. In
Big
huge
block letters. Big block letters.
It was
drow
epic.
game. And I felt like they did it just for us. I had this magical moment where it was like, I put reality aside for a minute, and I was like, this is not poor translation. This game knows me. It knows that I like D&D, and that I know what a drow is, and it's going to reward me.
Yes.
Can I request first ever, second, Dave reads from Wikipedia
What is that?
on drow.
On drow? Would you like
On
me to- would you
drow.
like me to pull up drow?
Yeah.
I would like you to
please.
read from Wikipedia so people understand. People are like, what the fuck is drow? Like,
And if you pronounce it dro,
You're an idiot.
you mad dro? I don't know. All I have is that lame joke.
I thought that was a good joke.
Thank you. Oh, here's a great one-sentence synopsis. The drow, or dark elves. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They're,
True.
they're fucking elves that are dark-skinned and generally evil.
I've got achievements. The first one is Super Punch-Out reference. Bear hugger.
What? Oh.
Dude, you took his fucking
First, you take Zach's favorite fighting game character of all time.
Armor
Then
King.
clearly just took his achievement.
I can see his notes. I'm just fucking
Nice.
taking shit. Just taking
Son of
shit.
a bitch, I'm gonna hide these now.
Hack the planet.
So that is when you finish a fight with a big bear slam. You get bear hugger. And then my second one is you Liu Kang looking motherfucker. Kim has a bicycle kick, a rip-off bicycle kick. So that is killing a person with the bicycle kick.
Did this come out before Mortal Kombat?
Probably. 92? Mm-hmm. I think it's close.
It is close. We'll
So
see.
either it's you Kim Kapow looking motherfucker or you
Oh,
Liu
you
Kang
Liu Kang
looking.
looking motherfucker.
Anybody else? Zach?
Yeah, Zach.
It's a similar name, but it's a little bit different of achievement. Big Bear Hug. That's where you. That's where you.
Fuck, dude.
know.
Might just hug a big bear.
God damn it! No, it's where you finish everyone off in every match by doing one of Big
Strictly
Bear's
using your mouth.
slam-
By filleting them. It's
Yes.
We both
that
went
was what I was
there.
going to say. No, by doing one of Big Bear's grapple moves because those were the most powerful in the game and they were the most fun to watch.
Jacob, achievements.
I did not play this game.
Based on our conversation today,
Okay. I think probably the number of the Lord which would be to beat the game on the hardest difficulty.
Nice.
Okay, that's
I
good.
like it. I like it.
Oh, and while we were sitting here, I just thought of another one. Don't lose a finger. Because Jubei, we were discussing what he is actually throwing and ended up doing a little bit of research and figured out it was firecrackers.
Okay, first of all, back the fuck off my achievement. All right. First of all, you've had your turn. We already went to Jacob,
It's true.
and that's not even the right name of the achievement. The name of that achievement is Pizza Party.
Ooh, that's funny.
Because every time Jubei would throw a shuriken, which looked like a pizza. I know what you're gonna
It's
say.
not a shuriken. It's
And
firecrackers.
It's not. It's a fucking pizza. Okay. Look at it. Look at it. It's a pizza with a slice missing. Every time he'd throw one, I would think of the Ninja Turtles pizza thrower toy that I had.
Yeah.
Every time. Because he throws it perfectly level and straight, and it comes out just like those motherfuckers that come out of that pizza cannon. Also, Jubei kind of looks like Chef Boyardee, which I think is interesting because he throws pizzas. I'm just saying that might be a cross-marketing opportunity that SNK missed out on. Hey, Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
You know what? Just forget it.
I swear to God,
Okay.
I come on the show and you say fuck this segment, and I'm gonna be disappointed.
Okay, all right, we'll do it for Zach. Are we okay?
man,
We'll do it
that
for
was
Zach.
so
Okay.
funny.
Okay.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game some kind of beard, you know what we do here. You give a game a beard based on your thoughts and feelings of said game. If you were to give this game a beard, Tyler Holland, what kind of beard would you give it?
A very large, scruffy pair of trucker chops.
Why? Is it because there's a trucker in the game?
It's a trucker, and you feel like Terry Bogard would have like big chops.
In about
And
20 years?
Yeah, yeah. It's substantial. It's got something to it, but at the same time, it's just like you're just growing your sideburns out really long, calling it a beard.
Okay.
It's just Street Fighter. You're just calling it something different.
You're just growing it out until next Street Fighter comes out.
Yep.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've got another question for you. And I'm only doing this because Zach is here and he wants to hear it so badly. If you were to give this game a pair of eyeglasses, specifically glasses for the eyes, what kind of glasses do you think you'd give it?
Well, it's sort of a pair of glasses. It's
For
sort
the
of
eyes.
it's sort of a sign of douchebaggery. It's
It's the glasses you're wearing right now. David.
it's a visor. One of those, like, it's like the hat, but the hat part is gone. It's just the visor, and it's pulled down really low, so it's right on top of your eyes, like they were glasses.
Like a hip hop accountant?
Yes, and it's kind of ripped, like
Okay.
on purpose. It's frayed on purpose to look cool, but you bought it like that.
Pre-frayed.
Yep.
Like something that someone who plays Ultimate Frisbee a lot would wear.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, some people called us.
Oh, let's hear it.
But before we do,
Okay.
I want to say something.
All right.
Sometimes I like to give an addendum to beards and glasses. I strongly urge anyone out there who likes Street Fighter 2 to play this game if you haven't. It, in my opinion, is not as good. But as I was playing it last night, I got to thinking, I was like, this is fun. Why am I having so much fun? And the answer was, it feels like Street Fighter 2, but it's different because I'd never played it. So I still get that feeling of Street Fighter, but I'm discovering new things and learning new moves and seeing new environments. If you have to choose between the two games, please choose Street Fighter.
Just like Street Fighter DLC, but just as a different game.
Exactly.
Okay.
Some people called us.
Let's hear them.
A few episodes ago, Tyler, you asked our good friends and talented musicians, Megalixer, to call us. They brought their A game.
Marking them off eerily silent.
So buckle up and get ready because they've actually got a cool idea. They want to do a contest for everyone who listens, and the prize is pretty awesome.
Hey TADPOG listeners, this is Joe from Megalixer, the band whose music you may or may not have heard on several previous episodes. I'm joined on this nationwide conference call spanning all the way from Texas to New York by two of my bandmates, Sam and Joey. Hello. Hey guys. We know that this call is long overdue. We were called out about 7 episodes ago, so we figured we'd try to spice it up with a bit of an exciting contest, which Sam will explain next.
So you should be hearing a theme playing behind us right now, which is one that we recorded recently. And what we want you to do is go to TADPOG's Facebook page and reply to a post that we'll put up for you. We're going to want to know the name of the game, the name of the theme, and the platform that you think it was released on.
And whoever posts the first correct full answer in response to that Facebook post will get to pick any song from any console, and we will create a sweet Megalixer rendition of that song, and maybe something a little extra for you too. If we get a good response to this, we might do it again in the future, and maybe even give you guys a little bit more creative input on our next rendition. Sam, Joe, you guys got anything else? Or should we go ahead and listen to the song?
Let's hear it.
Do it.
All right.
This contest was brought to you by the American Society for Church Basements. Conditions and restrictions may apply. Not valid in Canada. Megalixer makes no guarantees or warranty on quality of sweetness of the aforementioned rendition.
Awesome.
That was pretty damn amazing.
That was awesome, Megalixer.
We all four at this table know the answer. Not that Megalixer has told us, but we're no games that well.
Yeah.
So we cannot participate in this. That's the cost of admission, you two.
Okay, that's fair.
Fine.
But yes, please go to facebook.com/tadpog and give your best guess, because these guys are super talented. And there have been several times where I've been tempted to be like, can you guys please do this song from this game? Because I really think you guys would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear it. So this is a great opportunity to hear something that you used to love and still do deep down, just brought to life again.
Oh, man.
It's good.
That was really good.
good.
That was really good.
They already have the DuckTales Moon theme. You can go listen to that. So
Yep.
you might want to peruse their catalog first before you make any requests.
I would like to hear them do, I guess, Castlevania 2 Woods. Like that's.
Ooh, that's a
I
good
would
one.
love to hear.
I want to see them remix Tony Hawk 2's CKY 96 Quiet Bitter Beings.
I want to hear Giles' theme.
Oh God, these are all good choices.
But we can't participate, so none of these are going to be happening.
But you know
So
what?
disappointing. But
They're
if
just
the person
suggestions.
who wins,
Yeah, they just want to hear it.
The contest is awesome. I'm glad they called, so I don't have to picture them as the mercenaries from the Hulk Hogan movie, Suburban Commando.
Christopher Lloyd.
Well, there's a
you're
rumor.
dead meat, Wade.
That's why you guys never talk.
There's a rumor circulating. This is just between us. I'm gonna have to edit this out. But there's a rumor circulating that Megalixer is going to be playing at Tadpog Prom.
Oh, shit.
Can't verify it, but
You guys got to let me know in advance so I can take leave.
Thanks,
by
Obama.
knowledge.
Not letting Zach go to Tadpog Prom.
some other people called us.
Let's hear them.
Equally as important people called us.
Well,
but there's not three of them.
Like,
Okay, all right.
there's not three.
They're not,
Megalixer
not all the
calls
powers
best
combined.
call that has ever happened on Tadpog.
Pretty good.
That was
Pretty
really good.
Pretty
The
good.
editing,
Jacob
come on.
Jacob is calling you out, listener.
Yeah. Whoever
You want quality phone calls.
That was so good.
The bar has been raised.
It was so good. I'm so happy that Megalixer really brought it.
What's up, guys? It's Cousin. I was watching the Screen Junkies YouTube channel, and there was a video where they asked there's a couple of people who were debating what the hottest female cartoon character of all time was. And I thought that would be a perfect question for Tadpog to answer. The follow-up question to that was, what would be your ultimate cartoon character sex tape? So keeping with the theme of your podcast, I would expand that to be not only cartoon characters, but video game characters as well. So what is your...
All right. Unfortunately, the call cut off. Jacob, go.
I don't know. Cartoon character. When you say cartoon character,
What animated character do you jerk off to, Jacob?
when you say cartoon
It's
character,
a simple question. You just have to be honest.
I really wish I had left. I really wish I had left. I'm gonna take it to a little bit of an innocent place. I'm gonna take it to a more innocent place.
Okay, this is gonna be creepy.
I remember
Yep.
when I was growing up, the first cartoon character I had a crush on was Gadget from Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
There's a fetish for that.
I was
Tyler just showed us his note that he wrote while listening to the call, and it does indeed say Gadget.
so
She has a religion.
Inspector, but
Empirically, she is the hottest because she has a religion.
So Gadget. I do not want a sex tape of Gadget
because you already have one, am I right?
in my brain.
Roll 34.
Yeah, no, and I mean
Google
it's not.
Gadget Monterey Jack, and it's out there.
I don't know if you know this or not. You probably don't because you lead a much more wholesome lifestyle than I do.
So wholesome.
But Gadget is totally fetishized. Like, have you seen this?
I don't. I mean,
You don't want to. You
Yeah.
don't want to. It was a little disturbing to me, so I know that it would probably just crush you. It would be hard. It's
my childhood.
See, I didn't have an emotional attachment to Gadget like you and Tyler both did. I've already given my answer on a previous episode, and that was Daphne. I've still got a cartoon crush on Daphne from Scooby-Doo. I also,
If you want to go human with your hotness,
Weirdo.
I mean, if I have to choose an animal, I'm not gonna because that's fucking gross.
I would have to go with Gen 13.
See, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're cheating.
I
That's-
shied away from comic books.
No, there was a
there was
an
a
animated
yeah,
movie.
but there was
Yeah,
also
God. You want to cop out? Fine. Who from Gen 13?
No,
Morgan.
yeah, Morgan
Fairchild?
Morgan Fairchild. Honestly, looking back, that's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, the girl that voiced her in the animated movie her voice was kind of high pitched, and she was nerdy, and she had intellect, and she wasn't a dumbass. So she had a pretty good body, and then it kind of got upgraded whenever she got her superpowers. So the whole kind of nerdy girl in high school becomes really hot and powerful, and you're like, wow, should have got in on the ground floor with that one.
All right. We'll accept it, right? Judges?
I guess.
it falls within the parameter of the
guess.
rules.
Now pick an animal cartoon character.
Tailspin characters are acceptable. And her name's Rebecca.
Really? Yeah, for you, Tyler? Yeah?
She's the most humanistic animated
He wants to
character.
marry Gadget, but
But Rebecca's who I'm going to be a ghost and have an affair with that blue dispels me.
Okay.
want a Gadget in the streets, but a Rebecca in the bed.
I do have an answer for you, Dave.
All right.
Oh
Okay,
no!
what is it?
Oh no!
Throwback to a later episode.
Pumbaa.
No.
Throw back to a later episode.
Or an earlier episode?
Okay, throw back to the future.
A past episode.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
If you remember on Batman the Animated Series, there was an episode, I can't remember who the bad guy was, but he turned Catwoman into an actual cat.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about.
That would have to be my go-to if I had to pick an animal character.
I think that's one of the worst Batman animated series episodes.
It was pretty terrible.
But it was also the sexiest.
But
Batman.
also
Deeply
extremely
erotic.
erotic for Zach.
I think Sailor Scouts would have been acceptable.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to go at Naruto and say Tsunade.
All right.
And I will
Okay.
say too, just bringing up Gen 13. I even think I might have mentioned it on a previous podcast that I feel like you can trace my taste in women back to having a crush on Freefall. Because it's short girls, big eyes, generally darker hair and a little bit like counterculture.
I'm reviewing
Yeah.
your sexual history in my head, and that checks out.
Yep.
Yep. Ladies, I'm single.
Thanks for calling, Yuki's cousin. Sorry the call cut out.
Who else? I know we got Mo.
Good morning, gentlemen. Lord Micah Purdue here with this week's Would You Rather. This week's Would You Rather brought to you by Surge. Why Surge? Because I fucking miss Surge. You guys drink that shit? I love that shit. And this week's Would You Rather, and that had a story to boot with it. When tying your shoes, would you rather, on running shoes, have multiple eyelets towards the top? Would you rather have your shoelaces go through the front hole or through the back hole? And with reference to this, would you rather, I'll tell you my story real fast. I used to work in a shoe store, manage a shoe store. Had an old lady come in one day, and in the shoe store, we laced up the shoes for the customer. Lacing the shoe up for this customer, and purely just simple conversation, looked at her as I'm lacing the shoe up and said, "Ma'am, would you like me to lace your shoe up through the front hole or the back hole?" And she, without a beat, without hesitation, looked at me and said, "Oh, honey, I like it in the back hole every time." So my my answer for said question would be back hole, just because of that story. Look forward to hearing your guys' answers. Keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.
This makes multiple sex-related grandmother comments from Lord Micah Purdue.
Did I miss one?
Because he was talking about the call from Mary accidentally.
Oh, right. The grandma prostitute.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that one.
I'm honestly having a hard time envisioning it. So
Yeah,
I don't
not
know.
sure we was
Front
talking
hole,
about
back
the
hole.
front hole or the back hole.
Give them to me in both holes, please, Lord Mike.
Well, I think you just get a shoehorn and play with the tongue a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that totally
Right?
works.
I don't really wear shoes with laces. So I have my slip-proof chef shoes.
So something
and
you can
house
get in and
shoes.
out of easily is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I have my house shoes that I wear that I'm wearing now. And I think the gods of adulthood like to punish me by making it rain every time I wear my house shoes out of the house. So it's like, be a damn adult, put on some shoes. Don't wear shoes with laces, but I like the way he says backhoe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. Lord Mike, backhoe.
Thanks for calling.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Lord Mike. Zach, have some fucking respect.
Lord Micah Purdue. I'm going to call this fucking show just so I can get a title.
Squire Zach.
God.
I think you might have just got one, Zach.
Got another call.
Hey, TADPOG. I am a regular listener, first-time caller. My name is James. You may have remembered me since we spent something like 3 years in the same presence. I heard Zach was co-hosting this afternoon or something like right now. I was hoping to be able to catch him at the middle of this recording, but if not, Zach, hey, this is James. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. Dave, I miss you, buddy. I still have way too many puns that I hope you'll enjoy. And Tyler apparently is on his way, but was lost in the game Alice Return to Madness, which sounds like an awesome game. So I hope you guys get together quickly and go TADPOG. Love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Wow, thanks, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you for calling.
That's awesome.
Yo, fuck you, James. Damn.
You're not even giving me any Heath Ledger's molasses.
Thought we had something.
James has a second child on the way and asked Meg and I to be godparents to his second child.
Oh, awesome.
Well, that way you have the responsibility when he dies.
You can feel bad for this child. Yep. I'm going to raise it like a warrior.
James actually, he called back.
Hey, Zach, one last thing I forgot to mention. My wife, as you like to refer to, says hi. Yeah, so hi. Hi from my wife.
I totally forgot about that from back in the gaming days. I wish you guys could see my face because I'm sure it's beet red right now.
Zach said that to her one day. Or you said it to James, not knowing his wife was in the room on Skype.
That was what it was. Wow.
Just to clarify, what did you call her?
I'm not saying it again, asshole.
Well, you said it on a microphone once. Why not twice?
That wasn't being recorded. There's a big fuck difference.
If you would like to call, feel free to call TADPOG Hotline at 270-883-2555.
We got people to thank.
We got people to thank?
We do.
Who we got to thank?
See, for Facebook shares, Lord Mike, Nicole, and Dennis. For tweets, Nicole, Lord Mike, Drew, Kyle, and Jacob. Jacob just retweeted us.
Wait,
as
this
you're
Jacob?
doing the show. This Jacob.
This one?
Yeah, I did it.
Thanks,
did it.
Jacob.
Hey, you're welcome, you guys. Anytime I'm in the room with you, I will be happy to retweet it for you. So that you
And just
guys...
for the record, I will never tweet you guys because I don't do that.
Whoa,
I don't make tweets. I'll do the Facebook thing all day, but Twitter, that's foreign to me. It's something weird.
Oh, okay, man.
It's like MySpace.
No, it's not like MySpace at all.
That's not.
No, I'm saying you never want to touch it again after you see it for the first time.
That's not true. You don't, Zach.
I'm going to summon up the eerily silent category. Now that we've heard from James Livingston
And Megalixer on the same
Megalixer.
show.
I want to hear from James' lovely wife, Joanne.
Yeah.
Call in.
Call in.
Let us know what you think. And yeah, that's it.
I like that.
Lovely
It's a good
wife
one.
of James.
She always
Livingston.
likes our posts.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful person, Zach. She's a wonderful
She
person.
is. I've never
She
met
is.
her, but even I can, sense that.
She's wonderful.
You've heard her.
She's very
You've heard her on
nice.
Skype when we game.
Yes, I've heard her in the background on Skype. And
Well, we've covered that.
yes, we obviously
you
covered
have.
that.
Clearly, you
I
did
mean-
not hear her in the background on Skype.
Yeah.
Not that one time. No, I did not. I would just like to go on the record as saying that I am embarrassed as fuck right now.
Hey,
That's an appropriate response.
I'd like to actually thank you for being on the show, Zach.
Thank you.
And experiencing shame.
And yes, we do it every week, so it's nice that you get to do it.
Oh, awesome. Great. Like, I don't experience shame every day.
Thank you, Jacob, not playing the game, deciding to stick around.
Yeah.
Feel some shame.
Yeah, I definitely have stuck around and I've felt shame with you guys, and it's been
Thank you.
That's what we
it's
do here.
been-
like that.
It's been shameful.
Tell me about your show. Is it going to be going on when this releases?
When this show drops, I think that we will be having our first preview that night. So,
What's the show?
The Importance of Being Earnest. It is being produced by Tennessee Repertory Theater
that-
in Nashville, Tennessee.
Is it the prequel to Ernest Goes to Camp?
It is it's I can't even respond to it. It is a classic of literature.
That explains why
So
I
Ernest
don't know what
Scared
it
Stupid.
is. Gotta shoot him with milk.
100%
Southern Bulgarian
maniac. Starring our friend Toby Pruitt.
Where is it playing?
It will be at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center, also known as TPAC, in Nashville, Tennessee. I actually think, I don't know the specifics, but if you are in town and you do want to go see it, I think that there is going to be a discount code that is something along the lines of Hire Jacob Again. Where you can get some money off of your ticket. So if you want some more information on that, you can keep checking out my Twitter, which is @jcobster, or you can check out my Facebook page where I am. You can go to tinyurl.com/Jacob York. Either of those will get you the information that you need.
You're so good.
You know.
Even if it's play the game, he's good.
I know. What's up with that?
And I just want to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything that I've said on this show. I'm sorry that I've put the image in your head of Gadget.
And I edited the part out where he's talking about Zipper. I'm just saying.
Anyway, but please come see me act. And afterwards, I'll be in the lobby and you can come up to me and say, hey, I came to see this because I heard you on TADPOG, and I will give you a hug.
And we will give you 50,000 TADPOG points if that happens.
50,000
Yep.
TADPOG points.
Get somebody to film you getting a hug from Jacob York. 50,000 Tadpog points.
I will.
That is 1/100th of the way to a Goosebump book.
I'll get that picture. We'll put it up on the Facebook page. It'll be great. And since I'm very close to Western Kentucky, where these gentlemen record, hopefully I'll be able to be on another show before I head back down to Atlanta.
We would like that.
I'd like it too.
I'll tell you, I do have one shout out I'd like to give, though.
Who's that?
My friend Joe. He works at the Serenity Shop in Princeton, Kentucky. He runs a website called www.lifewisdomcorner.com, which is home of Arcanum. And if you want to go there for all your metaphysical needs, it's kind of like real Final Fantasy, is the way he put it. So I'll just let your mind run with that.
Arcanum. Is that the Batman game?
Arcanum? Mm-hmm.
No.
Arcanum Asylum.
Right.
Arcanum
is that
Asylum.
it?
Arcanum.
It's sort of. But
Okay.
not really.
Arcanum Asylum. The Batman game.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of wisdom to be gleaned at this website, lifewisdomcorner.com.
There is.
Arcanum.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes or Stitcher. So you miss the next episode, we'll be talking about the 60-second ranked game, Kirby's Dream Land 3.
You're correct.
Where I'm going to try to get Nicole Nance on here drunk.
Wow.
She said she said maybe last time, so hopefully.
That'd be please, Nicole.
So you have plenty. You have a week to turn that
Please.
maybe into a yes.
Yes.
Please, Nicole.
She is one of my favorite drunk people.
I'll tell you what,
Dave, you and
I'll
Nicole
buy the
are about
booze.
on tier for just like the most amazing drunk people.
That's because we're barely tolerable sober.
You are both the same alignment, so I don't know if it has something to do with lawful neutral people getting drunk or not. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe, give the show a 5-star rating, write a review. You'll get a coin, you can get a book, you get our thanks, our love, keep the gun out of Dave's mouth.
Just write a review because it's good.
We'll be back next week, guys. You know the drill.
I won't be.
Zach
Tyler
won't
and
be.
Dave will be back next week. Zach and Jacob will not.
I mean, I might be.
Didn't sound.
That'd be nice.
I could
Didn't
be.
sound like it.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
If Nicole's drunk, you might make it.
Man, if Nicole pledges to get drunk during the recording of this show, I might be willing to come up to see that train wreck.
She can get one LIT in, and she'd be about where she needs to be for a really good episode.
Oh man, that'd be so funny.
So some of us will be back. We don't really know what's going on in this show. Some of us will be back next week. Some of us
There will be a
won't.
show next week.
There might be a show next week. Who knows? In the meantime, if you would like to, you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/TADPOG. There's some pretty cool people on there doing some pretty cool shit.
I think we should quiz Zach.
Okay.
Oh shit.
All right,
okay.
let's quiz them.
Zach, our intro song.
Yes.
What is our intro song?
I believe it's Rush by Sycamore Drive.
Our first failed attempt. Give it another go. You got half the right.
Moves by
Yeah.
Sycamore Drive.
Okay.
Sycamore
Redemption.
Drive.
Ah,
Oh look, it's
So much Sawyer calls them something. Fuck it.